We have already watched Descendants 2, so there are many times that we've been able to find some mistakes. When you know about them, you'll keep watching every scene of the movie again and again. Wait until you see the last mistake on our list. You won't be able to deny that the filmmakers really did forget something. Caution, spoilers ahead. If you love Descendants as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we are showing you 10 mistakes in Descendants 2 you might have missed. The Apple. The movie starts in the best way with one of the best songs, Ways to Be Wicked. Are our favorite characters going bad again? This is what we seem to think during the first minutes of the film. They are preparing poisoned apples to make everyone just as bad as them. And we don't think that there is anything wrong with this. Everyone seems to be having much more fun after biting into this apple, and we think that this is what they wanted because they couldn't resist this fruit. However, when Mal and Evie were distributing some fruits, we noticed a little mistake. Have you seen it too? When Mal gives an apple on a stick to a girl, she picks the one that is closest to her. But when you look at their plate from another angle, you can see that there is still a fruit there. There is no way it could have been next to her on the plate because there isn't any place to put it. The movie was starting so well, and there is already a mistake. Anyway, the song was so good that most of us easily missed it. And don't worry, the Descendants are not really going bad. At least, not yet. This is just something Mal wished she could do. And we love to see that side of her. The Extra. While she dreams of becoming a villain again, Mal has to act like the perfect girl in front of the cameras. And she doesn't like this kind of pressure. This is not who she is. She should try doing sports to relieve stress, just like the boys do. Heroes don't like to fight, but when you have to face villains, using a sword can sometimes be necessary. This is why students in Oregon are learning battle royal sword fights. And by the look of it, we think that good is going to win against evil. This scene was so captivating that most people didn't look at the background, but we did, and this is how we saw a little mistake with the extras. In one shot, a guy is passing by, and then less than a second later, we can't see him anymore. It's like he has never been there. We understand that mistake. It's difficult to do the same thing at the exact same time in a scene. He probably missed his cue by less than a second, and it was enough for us to notice it. Anyway, as soon as Lonnie, Mulan's daughter, took off her mask, we immediately forgot about the little mistake that we saw before. This girl knows how to fight. Let's watch the scene one more time, but this time we'll only be looking at her. The Table. While we thought that everything was going well in Oregon, we forgot what was happening on the Isle of the Lost. Now that Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos are gone, Ursula's daughter is the one who is in control, and we will never be able to forget her name. After hearing the song, What's My Name? With her friends Harry, Hook, and Gil, Uma isn't shy to express how she feels about Mal and Ben when she looks at them on TV. Actually, no one seems to be happy in the restaurant, and we understand why clients don't like the service there. While Gil is eating, another man just randomly picks the fry in his hand and throws it on the table, and this is the source of many mistakes in this scene. We see the little fry lying on the table for a moment. After hearing Gil talk, we see that the food on the table is now different. And no, it wasn't there right after people threw it at the television, so it must be a mistake. Gil leaves the table to get more food, and when he gets back, the food left on the table is different again. It just keeps changing and changing, but if you watch the movie again, don't pay attention to this. Uma probably won't be happy to see that you are not listening to her. The Sandwich. After going through a lot of different things during the week, Mal finally has time to take a break during a picnic with Ben. But she didn't have time to cook, so she used a spell to cook food. Her boyfriend loves to taste the hors d'oeuvres and can't believe that she was able to do that in such a short time. And actually, he realizes that he has the right to think that when he finds Mal's spell book in the basket. She tries to explain that she feels like her cooking skills wouldn't have been good enough for him and turns back the food into the original peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Embarrassed, she decides to leave instead of taking the time to talk to Ben. If you were too focused on the story to look out for mistakes, we totally understand. This is why we are here to tell you about it. When Mal turns the food into the simple sandwich, it's on a plate, right next to where Ben was sitting. Then, from another angle, you can see that it is now somewhere else on the table. It's really quick, so it could be difficult to see it, but we swear that we saw a little mistake in this scene. Anyway, we worry too much about what is happening to Mal to care about this sandwich. The Lettuce. All this pressure is too much for Mal. Ben finally knows about her secret, and there is no way she's going to be able to keep being fake anymore. She knows that she doesn't fit in, and this is why she wants to go back to the Isle of the Lost. She gave a chance, too many chances, to Auradon, but now this is over. The young woman just takes the time to go back to her room and pack her belongings without saying goodbye. Then she takes the scooter that Ben gave her, uses a spell, and goes back to where she belongs. In this place, there is no rule, so Mal doesn't mind pushing everyone out of the way. While she is riding her scooter, you can see that a man drops lettuce on the ground. Then, from another angle, it seems like there is no vegetable in her way, even though the same people are around. Has she gone through the alley too fast? Or did someone have the time to pick up the lettuce? We think that there is one explanation. There is a little mistake there, but with tears in her eyes, we understand why Mal wasn't able to see this. We'll just forget about this lettuce and watch what will happen to Ben once he learns that sad news. The kick. When Evie realizes that Mal left Auradon, she warns Ben and gives him the note that she wrote. The king immediately knows that everything is his fault and that he has to go to the Isle of the Lost to find her. However, he shouldn't go there dressed like that. This is why Evie has to give him a makeover. With his new clothes, Ben is now turned into a bad boy, but he still has to learn how to act like one if he wants to fit in amongst the villains. This is why Evie, Jay, and Carlos teach him how to blend in with the song Chillin' Like a Villain. This is how he learns to drag his feet, nod his head, lean back, slip through the cracks, not to care, and not to stare. This is not easy at first for Ben, and we can see that he is really clumsy. Just as he is trying to dance like his friend, he accidentally kicks something on the ground. Not only did he make a mistake, but the filmmakers did something wrong too. It looks like he kicks that thing far away, but then from another angle, it is right next to the group. It seems like the filmmakers are villains too in this scene because they don't want to follow the rules of continuity. The pirate. It didn't take long for Ben to be kidnapped by Uma and taken on the pirate ship. And while he is trapped, Ursula's daughter tells him about the real reason why she is mad. She says that the Isle of the Lost is a prison, thanks to his father, and she is upset that other villains had a chance to escape, but not her. When Ben offers to let her come back with him to Auradon, she is offended to see that that is what it takes to get an invite. Ben never thought that he could have hurt the people he didn't pick, and he just didn't have time to help the other villains. But then, Uma claims that she doesn't need him to get out of there on her own, and while they were talking, we think that we saw what could have been a little mistake. A pirate had been lying on the boat behind Uma for quite some time when he decided to stand up, but a second later, he was not there anymore. Yes, he could have left really quickly, but we think that that was a little too fast, and it easily caught our attention. We are not sure what to think, so we'll let you tell us your opinion in the comment section down below. The climb. When Ben is trapped on the boat, Mal and her friends are getting prepared to save him. The deal is that they have to give the fairy godmother's wand to Uma, and in exchange, Ben will be free. Mal is one courageous girl for trying to save the man she loves, but she is also one of the smartest, as she asks the guys to 3D print a fake wand while she plans a diversion with Evie. So Jay and Carlos go back to Auradon, while the two girls find what they need at the hairdressing salon. With their plan, the four friends, Lonnie and Dude, are all ready to face the villains, and they arrive just in time by noon. This is when Gil sees them coming. Standing high at the top of the ship, he is just about to climb down when we see the ship from another angle. But where did he go? We see a pirate climbing down, but he is way further than Gil would have been in less than a second. It is not easy to stand on these ropes. We think that they forgot to add Gil in the picture, or it was a little too far away at the time. Anyway, these pirates are so bad to the bone that they made a little mistake. And if they keep doing this wrong, the heroes will win, but not as easily as we might think. The sun. Mal finally tricks Uma by giving her the fake wand and saving Ben. But the battle is not over yet, as the villains quickly realize what that girl just did. So learning how to sword fight in school was a good idea after all. This is how the heroes defeat the villains and come back to Auradon, Mal included. When everyone is back to safety, the young woman speaks with her friends about how she feels. Then it's Carlos's turn to have a talk with man's best friend, Dude. Cruella's son is still wondering how he is going to ask Jane out. This is when Dude tells him that if she doesn't like him, she is not the one for him. We wish we could have a dog just like Dude, but unfortunately, a little mistake distracted everyone who pays attention to details. In the background, you can see an extra passing by until he is near a group of 3 people. And then, from another angle, he is back to where he was before. But that's not the only thing. The sunlight on the grass changed changed a lot too in these two shots. This is what happens when you shoot outside. You can't control the sun, but we'll forgive the filmmakers. Dude's advice was so good that we are just thinking about love. Evie's hair. If you didn't see all the mistakes we mentioned before, we think that you will have to agree with this one. Everyone is celebrating on the boat, as Carlos found the perfect date, and Mal looks stunning in her new dress. We think that everything is back to normal and that we are going to see a happy ending soon. But think again. This is when Uma comes to steal the show. Or should we say, steal the man. Ben is literally under her spell, and he now wants Uma to be his lady of the court. This is tragic. Hopefully the movie doesn't end like that, and Mal saves him with a kiss of true love. But the story is not over. Uma jumps into the water, ready to fight. She keeps throwing water at people in the boat, and as we can see, everyone is soaking wet, including Evie. But then, a few moments later, her hair is still perfect. No, it didn't have time to dry because everyone is still wet. And then, after Mal wins the battle, everyone is ready to dance. Not only is everyone but Evie still wet, but she also has a new hairstyle. When did she have time to do that? You'll have to agree that this is one big mistake. Is there any other movie mistake that we missed? Don't be shy to tell us what it is in the comment section down below. We love to hear what you think. And that's it for 10 mistakes in Descendants 2 you might have missed. For more stories like this, make sure to watch 10 evil Disney characters who are actually very nice. Thanks for watching.